AITA for refusing to step down as a bridesmaid because of my boyfriend's ultimatum? Hello, I'm in a tough situation and need an outside perspective beyond my friends and family. Using fake names and a throwaway for privacy. I'll try to keep this short. I, 26F, have been with my boyfriend, Tommy, 27M, for 11 months. He's a really caring guy and has always treated me well. Like any couple, we've had small disagreements, but nothing major until now. For context, my older sister, Kimmy, 31F, is getting married to her fiancé, Gray, 23M, in 3 months. Gray happens to be the cousin of my ex-boyfriend, Levi, 26M. Levi and I dated from freshman year of high school through college until I broke up with him 2 years ago. He had developed feelings for his now girlfriend, Tammy, 24F, whom he met in college. The breakup was mutual, and there are no hard feelings, we're on good terms. I've known Levi since I was 6, and we were best friends growing up, sharing the same friend group. Because of that, I spent a lot of time at his house, and his family became like a second family to me. Even after our breakup, his parents, 2 older sisters, and extended family continued inviting me to family events. I attended a few, but once Levi told me that Tammy felt uncomfortable with my presence, I started going less out of respect. This was before I started dating Tommy. Kimmy kept going to family events since she was with Gray. That said, I still occasionally see Levi at small parties hosted by my best friend, May, 25F. She and her boyfriend, Hunter, 26M, are still close with Levi, so he's sometimes there. We don't really interact much at these events. Tommy has met Levi at these gatherings and has even spoken with him a few times. He never mentioned having an issue with it. Now on to the problem. Kimmy and Gray's wedding is a small, intimate event with only close friends and family. I'm a bridesmaid, and Levi is a groomsman, which means we're paired up to walk down the aisle together. I was initially a bit uncomfortable with it, but I love my sister and want to support her, so I put my feelings aside. Levi's girlfriend, Tammy, is invited, and she's totally fine with everything, as the most interaction Levi and I will have is walking together for a few seconds. But Tommy is furious. He now refuses to attend the wedding and has given me an ultimatum: either I step down as a bridesmaid, attend only as a guest, or not go at all. I, of course, told him no. This is my sister's wedding, and I want to be there for her. It's not my fault her fiancé is related to Levi. Tommy lost it. He shouted at me, called me horrible names, accused me of wanting to cheat on him with Levi, then broke some of my things before storming out. He's now staying at a friend's place and refuses to see or talk to me. I've never seen him this angry before. I have never given him any reason to think I'd cheat on him, and Levi and I don't go out of our way to talk to each other. So I have no idea where this is coming from. After talking to May and my friends about it, word got back to Levi, and he actually offered to step down as a groomsman to avoid drama. I told him not to do that. My family now knows what happened because Levi told Gray, and my parents are furious. Kimmy is disgusted by how Tommy treated me. They don't want him at the wedding no more. I've tried reaching out to Tommy, but his friend texted me he doesn't want to see me. I'm honestly worried about him because this reaction is completely out of character. He's always been a great boyfriend, but this whole situation is making me question things. So, AITA? My friends and family say I'm not, but I need an outsider's perspective. Edit. Thank you everyone for opening my eyes. I'm gonna ditch Tommy and pack his things. I will be contacting his friend he is staying with to fetch most of his things. Again, thank you. Edit 2. This is my last edit. A lot of people are asking why I couldn't be paired with someone else. My sister and her fiancé chose the pairings based on what felt most comfortable for everyone. Since Levi and I already know each other well and are on good terms, they thought it would be the least awkward option. It wasn't done to cause drama, just to make things easier for the bridal party. I know Levi and I have a long history together, we've been through a lot. I still care for him from a distance, but our relationship truly began to break down after we lost our son, who was stillborn. We were young, and while we stayed together for a few more years, things were never the same. Eventually, Levi developed feelings for someone else, his current girlfriend, and he was honest with me about it before pursuing her. We ended things on mutual terms because, in that moment, I realized I no longer felt the same way either. We simply fell out of love. It happens. Update. I packed up most of Tommy's things and texted his friend to come pick them up. I gave him 2 days to grab his stuff out of my home. He came the next day. When he arrived, he came inside alone while his friend waited in the car. My dad and older cousin were with me, just in case. I know some of you might not be happy about this, but Tommy and I ended up having a serious talk after he finished loading his things into the truck. My dad and cousin stayed in the living room while we spoke privately in my room. I needed closure, we both did. Tommy apologized. He said he was sorry for yelling, calling me names, and breaking my things. He also offered to pay for the damages, but I told him no. At this point, replacing my things wouldn't fix what had already been broken. He said he wanted to work things out and start over, but I immediately rejected the idea. I have little to no trust in him now, and for me, once trust is gone, the relationship is gone. I asked him why he suddenly had such a problem with Levi when he never did before, even when we attended family events and friend gatherings together. That's when he admitted something I hadn't known. He had gone through my closet. My closet is packed with a lot of personal things. He was looking for something and came across a small flowery chest where I keep special memories, photo albums, letters, and small gifts from family, friends, and past experiences. Curious, he decided to look through it. Inside, he found letters Levi had written me, gift cards from family and friends, and a few drawings Levi had made for me. Then, he found my 2 photo albums. One was filled with childhood pictures of my family, friends, and Levi, from when we were kids all the way through high school graduation and college. The second album was handmade. Levi's older sister had made it for us, and Levi had gifted it to me. It was a green polka dot album with a heart and the letter L on the cover, L for Levi. This album held some of my most personal and meaningful pictures of us as kids, in high school, and as adults. There was one photo that Tommy had found. It was a picture from when I was pregnant with Levi's and my son. We were at Levi's uncle's family cabin. Levi was holding me from behind, his arms wrapped under my belly, kissing my cheek while I had one hand on his cheek and the other on my stomach. My eyes were squinting, and I was smiling really hard. Tommy told me that image has been stuck in his head ever since. He admitted he went through my things 8 months into our relationship and never told me. He said that after seeing that photo, he felt like he could never compete with what I had with Levi. That no matter what he did, I would never love him as much. He said he never felt this way with his 2 ex-girlfriends before, but, with me, it was different. He felt like I had already given all my love to someone else. He said he noticed the little things, that when he gave me gifts, I didn't seem as excited. When he brought me flowers or a gift card, I would just say thank you, put them on the counter, and move on. Unlike Levi's gifts, which I kept in a special box, his didn't seem to hold the same meaning to me. He even found one of the cards he gave me in the kitchen trash bin. I felt absolutely terrible when he said that. I never meant to make him feel that way. I never threw away anything he gave me. Everything he gifted me was in my nightstand drawer. Sure, it wasn't in a memory box like Levi's things, but that didn't mean I didn't care. I loved to grab and read them sometimes from the nightstand. Then he said something that really hurt me. He told me that seeing me pregnant in that photo made him uncomfortable. That it felt weird and that he didn't like it. I didn't even understand what he meant, but hearing him say that truly hurt for sure. At that point, I broke down crying. He had been holding in all these feelings, all this resentment, and instead of ever talking to me about it, he let it all bottle up until it exploded over the bridesmaid situation. I wish he had told me earlier instead of letting things get to this point. Because despite everything, I did love him. I told him that I still love him, but that he crossed a personal boundary by going through my things without my knowledge or consent. That memory box is deeply personal to me, and it hurt knowing he invaded that space. We had nothing else to talk about. He just got up and told me good luck to the next guy. He's gonna need it, especially having to deal with you. That stung. I had been nothing but grateful for him, but in the end, that is what he left me with. I cried so much. At first, I was just angry with him, but in the end, it was crushing to go through another heartbreak. My dad and cousin stayed with me that night, and I was grateful not to be alone. Right now, I'm planning on focusing on myself. I don't plan on dating for a long time because I want to heal and work on my own happiness first. One day, I'd love to be with a man who wants a big family and lots of kids with me, but that's not my focus right now. My priority is to keep enjoying my life, continue working at my job I love. I've planned on going out with my friends a lot more and spend quality time with the people who truly care about me. I've also been planning to spend more time with my family. I've been calling my friends and that has really helped me feel supported. I also talked to Levi, and he actually came over by surprise to check on me. He brought me chocolate-covered strawberries, my favorite. And his girlfriend even crocheted me a little tokay gecko that looks like my pet gecko. My favorite animal. It was such a sweet gesture that I actually cried. We ended up talking for hours, playing my old GameCube, especially Mario Kart Double Dash and Super Smash Bros. Melee and Digimon World 4, just reconnecting, like when we were kids. There were definitely some tears, but also hugs, and we promised to be there for each other more. That made me really happy. No, nothing happened between us. Levi actually plans to propose to Tammy in the near future. He seems so much happier with her than he ever was with me during our relationship. I've never seen him blossom with anyone the way he has with her. He's also way more affectionate with her than he ever was with me. I truly hope they get married and build a beautiful life and family together. They both deserve it. And good news is, my best friend May and I are also planning a fun trip out of state in early June, probably to Idaho for a week. As we live in Maine. And we are planning a bigger friend group trip. We're still figuring out when and where, since some of our friends live out of state, and we need to find a good schedule. I am planning on moving out of my apartment soon, most likely after my lease is done. I am gonna be talking to Levi's uncle and moving into one of small properties with two of our close friends for a fresh start. So, for the first time in a while, I feel like I have something to look forward to. I'm excited to focus on myself, enjoy my sister and Bill's wedding, and just live my life. Thank you all again. Wishing you all a wonderful and lovely day. Edit. I'm not in love with Levi, despite what some people are saying. Just because I cherish a few things from the past doesn't mean I still have romantic feelings for him. In fact, I still have love for Tommy. It takes me a long time to fully lose feelings for someone, even if they've hurt me. I also really like Levi's girlfriend. She's incredibly kind. And to those claiming I'll hook up with Levi, please reevaluate yourselves. I don't chase after people in relationships, especially someone I no longer have feelings for. I'm not the type of person who sleeps around. I value emotional connection and building a meaningful bond before ever taking that step with someone. I have better standards than that.